If you follow the people in leadership at Bethesda, every now and then they'll drop a little info about the game that confirms or denies theories or altogether sheds new light on things unknown. We heard this week from producer Jamie Mallory, or you may know her as Sandwich Lady.
I steal all the sandwiches. I don't want to play the hero, but I want to go out and just start taking things from people as quickly as possible.
She shed some new light on the depth of factions in Starfield. Now, this is definitely one of the primary interests of returning Bethesda title enthusiasts who may have enjoyed games like Fallout New Vegas and Oblivion and Fallout 4, because all of these games had well-executed faction storylines separate from the main story arc, and in some cases those faction arcs would offer some benefits or even roadblocks to the main storyline depending on the decisions that you made. Even Skyrim did this. One faction would refuse to work with you after a certain point if you wouldn't kill a dragon who was an ally of yours. Many of us forget the time that we killed Alduin, but we definitely remember if we sided with the crazy clown in the Dark Brotherhood. We remember if we abandoned Preston Garvey, the lazy slob who wouldn't lift a finger to improve Sanctuary and depended on you to do all the work, and allied ourselves with Psycho Raiders. We remember if we joined the Great Khans and embraced their way of life, or if we allied ourselves with Caesar's Legion and pursued the belief that dominating humanity is the only way to ensure a safe future. All this to say, factions have great bearing on your overall experience with a title. But circling back to the spotlight on Jamie Mallory, when asked about her favorite things to do in Starfield, she responded by saying, "Lately I've been diving deep into the quest lines of all the different factions, and I've been pleasantly surprised by the incredible variety in their storylines. It's like unlocking a treasure trove of captivating narratives that many folks might not even realize exist." While some may rush through the main Golden Path storyline, those intrepid explorers who venture off the beaten path and delve into the faction quests are in for a real treat. She continues, "The amount of content packed into these faction storylines is truly astonishing. It's like embarking on a grand adventure within an adventure, where every choice you make and every interaction you have shapes the course of the tale. The character development, the plot twists, the moral dilemmas, I've been completely hooked. These quests offer a chance to delve deeper into the game's rich lore and uncover hidden gems that add layers of depth and excitement to the overall experience." Now, these words should be incredibly encouraging for those of you looking forward to Starfield. One of the biggest concerns gamers have had is that Starfield will lean too heavily towards the exploration and discovery like No Man's Sky, and leave behind the deep RPG and decision-making elements that Bethesda's previous titles have relied on. The faction quest lines can single-handedly carry replayability in games like Starfield. Many lovers of RPGs create multiple characters with their own motivations, skill sets, and backgrounds. For many of us, engaging in one faction's quest line may go against the core motivations of our character, while another faction might align perfectly with our character's whole vibe. For some of us, becoming a ranger out in the Freestar Collective may be the thing we look forward to the most, while for others of us, trying to keep the colonies in line and being an enforcer and joining the Vanguard with the United Colonies might be the thing we want to do. But my suspicion is that these factions will be at odds with one another based on the lore that we know so far. So aligning yourself with one of them may exclude you from the other on that particular playthrough. You might have to literally create another character if you want to experience what the opposing faction has to offer. But we also know that there are some other factions that are more extreme, out on the outer unclaimed territories that we'll see later in the game. These include religious zealots, Russian cosmonaut beefcakes, and God knows what else. Chances are pretty good that we'll be able to align ourselves with one or more of these groups. In fact, when you create your character, you can claim the serpent worshippers' religion as your own personal belief system, which puts you in their good graces when you encounter them out in the wild. Beyond that, we know there are warring crime syndicates on Neon, blue-collar communities in the Sol system where Earth resides, and other various people groups dotted throughout the galaxy. Needless to say, with the knowledge that we already had about the people in the Starfield galaxy, our expectations for faction quests were already pretty high. But now that Jamie Mallory, a producer in charge of the ship's building teams and the star map teams, has openly said that the factions side of the game is highly expansive and meaningful, hey, our bar for Starfield just got set a little bit higher. As always, I hope that Bethesda can deliver on the hype and those expectations. But looking at the success of their flagship RPGs like the Elder Scrolls series and the Fallout titles, I'm willing to bet Starfield will be far from a disappointment. Thanks for tuning in today. Let me know which potential faction you're personally most excited to explore. For me, it's the Wild West Freestar Collective Rangers, because that idea of merging my Space Explorer and Cowboy Lawman dreams into one experience has me pretty stoked. Hey, leave a like on the video only if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for additional Starfield content. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you among the stars.